friends, welcome to Cooking with Kyra. I'm Kyra and this is my daughter Ellie.
Hi.
Today we're going to be making dirt and worms, but first we're going to be reading a story. Although this story doesn't really connect with our dirt and worms today, it is one of my very most favorite stories, so I wanted to read it to you before we took our break for summer. It's called The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson. This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big gray-blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships and the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. Think she'll ever be able to sail? She's pretty small, right?
Yeah.
These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wiggle, stay still, stay put." But the tiny snail sniffed and sighed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a ride." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Ride wanted around the world."
What's his name, Ride?
No, his name is not Ride. He's saying he wants a ride. Or he wants a ride.
Ride
around.
wanted around.
Yeah.
Oh, now I get it.
This is the whale who came one night. This big whale. When the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come, sail with me."
Mom, before you turn the page, do you see those two things?
Yeah, they're ships.
Those. And then look how big that is, and then look how small.
Well, he's closer. The
Oh.
ships are farther away. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands. Look at those penguins and the seals.
Look how big that is.
Look at that little snail up there. With fiery mountains and golden sands. Ooh, now there's somewhere warmer. The volcano and a monkey.
That looks like a lion.
Dolphins. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where colorful fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam past the whale and the snail on his tail. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. He's still clinging on. Man, he's gone through a lot. And she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand. She gazed and gazed, amazed by it all. And she said to the whale, "I feel so small."
This is helping me with something.
But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place. upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away. Uh-oh.
But whales are mammals.
And this is the whale lying beached in the bay. Quick! Off the sand! Back to sea! Cried the snail. I can't move on land. I'm too big, moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, I've got it, she cried, and started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher, holding her chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board, as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail! A snail! The teacher turns pale. Look, say the children, it's leaving a trail. This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, save the whale. These are the children running from school, fetching the firemen, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. That's a lot of people helping out. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting, hooray! As the whale and the snail travel safely away. Back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, how time's flown and haven't you grown? And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves, of shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail after snail. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the gray-blue humpback whale. So I really love this story because it shows that no matter how small you are, you can still make a difference, and that friendship always saves the day. Alright friends, now that we've read our story, we're going to go over the ingredients that you should have received in your bag from New Lenox Public Library. If you did not get a bag from New Lenox Public Library, you can always use these ingredients at home as well. First, you should see a container with Cool Whip. Then you should see a pudding container, a bag with 2 Oreos, a bag with gummy worms,
There's 4.
and a plastic cup. Just 1 plastic cup. From home, you will only need a spoon today, so pretty easy from home. And then we'll get started now. Do you want to take the rest of that stuff down?
Yep.
We'll take this cup. So first, we're going to mash up our Oreos with our spoon. We're going to use the back of our spoon and keep our Ziploc closed. We're going to press down on the middle of the spoon.
Yeah.
We're going to smush it all up.
This is hard to do.
If you need to ask your parent or guardian for some help with this, you can. Might be a little tough, but you just want to kind of move your spoon back and forth over the chunks of Oreo and get them all nice and mushed up.
Mom, could you help me after you're done?
Alright. Once you've got that done, you can kind of go like, well, I gotta do yours. I gotta do your other one, kid. Alright. If you want, Ellie, you can open your Jell-O container while I finish your cookies. I'm just gonna keep mashing Ellie's cookies. There There you go. And then we're going to take our spoon and we're going to dump the pudding into our plastic cup here. Nice job. And then we're going to try and get as much as we can out of the pudding cup. Whoop.
I don't want to.
And then, once we have our pudding in there, we're going to open up our container of Cool Whip. Yours might look a little different. That's okay. This is what I had at home. So, you need your spoon. Here, just give me this. You still need your spoon. We're going to take our spoon and we're going to push our Cool Whip out of our container into our little cup.
Doesn't matter if pudding gets on it.
Nope.
Since we're going to mix it up anyways.
We're going to mix it all up. So once it's in there, we're going to mix it up. We want to try our hardest to keep our Cool Whip and our pudding in the cup. Should have enough space. Gives you a little bit, I gave you a little bit of extra space with the cup. So we want to really get to the bottom of it and really mix all that pudding in. Might have a little bit on the bottom, but that's okay. Doing all right? Mix it up good. Mix, mix, mix. You're doing good. Once we have it looking like this, it's all pretty brown, we're going to go ahead and dump our smushed up Oreos in there. Right on top. You want to keep mixing that? Want me to mix it? Open your bag. You did a pretty good job. It was almost there. Go. And then it should look like dirt, and underneath the pudding is like mud. So we're going to dump all that stuff on top. Good job. Nice. Oh, that might stick in there. That's okay. Good
A lot
job.
of it.
All right, and then you're going to take your worms. And toss your worms in there. You can kind of make them look pretty, like they're poking their little heads out.
They even have little smiles.
They have little smiles.
I'm putting one of their heads in like they're crawling in.
Oh, smart.
But worms don't have a head.
Keep going.
So why would they put a head?
Nice. Good job. All right. And this one was pretty simple, pretty easy, but it's easy to do at home for a quick snack or a little dessert. And now we get to taste. You want to do a cheers?
Yep.
Cheers! Mmm.
Voila! Chef's kiss. Like and subscribe.
Thanks, friends. Thanks for watching Cooking with Kyra. Have a great summer. I'll see you next time.